afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Orthridge Jerseys virtual chat. I am Brittany with the Discover Dairy program, and we are so excited that you're joining us today as we get to meet Farmer Derek and, of course, his adorable calves, Dulce and Juniper. Today's chat wouldn't be possible without the generous support of the Dairy Farmers of Wisconsin and the Dairy Excellence Foundation. So thank you to both of those organizations for making today possible. First, this live chat is part of the Adopt a Cow program, and for anyone that is new to Discover Dairy or Adopt a Cow, it is a free online resource that covers Common Core standards in math, reading, and science, all while focusing on dairy concepts. If you're interested in accessing these resources, you can go to discoverdairy.com. We'd also love for you to join the Adopt a Cow Fund next year. So if you're interested in joining the fund or you're new to the program, we encourage you to go ahead and register and sign up at discoverdairy.com/adopt. And we'll go ahead and put that link in the chat for you so you can access that. Registration does open this Sunday, May 1st, which we're really excited about. But the program won't start until October of 2022 in the next school year, but we welcome you to sign up a while and get excited for next year's program. Next, as everyone continues to join us live today, you'll see that chat feature is enabled. We can see many of you are joining us today, which is really exciting. Please feel free to keep using that chat feature to leave comments and ask questions. Please just keep in mind, we want to make sure that those questions and comments are school appropriate and related to the chat. And before we pass it over to Farmer Derek, we're going to see who's joining us today. So let's go way back in the beginning. Let's see, our first folks who joined us were from Fort Atkinson. So good afternoon, everybody. Hello. We've got Mrs. Turner, second grade class. They're virtual students. Hello. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Mrs. Johnson's fourth grade class in Middleton. Hello. Thanks for joining us today. Jumping down a little bit further, we've got some kindergarten folks from Monroe with Miss Shafe. So hello, we've got some fourth graders from Salem. Hello, everybody, welcome. Mrs. Pretchel's third grade class, welcome. We're so excited, and they adopted Juniper, and Juniper has been growing really big, so we're excited to show you to her. Jumping down a little bit further here, we've got some homeschoolers from Evansville, Wisconsin. Hello, welcome everybody. And one more shout out here, we'll do the first graders from Dodgeland Elementary. We are so excited that you guys are joining us today. So thank you so much for hopping on the call. I know Farmer Derek is excited to be chatting with you guys today. So without further ado, I am pleased to introduce you to Farmer Derek from Lancaster, Wisconsin. Hey, Farmer Derek, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Brittany?
I am doing pretty good, and I think I still butchered the way you say
you were close. You were close.
Am I close? So for anyone that's watching, I'm from Pennsylvania, and we say it Lancaster. So I apologize to all of our Wisconsians, or Wisconsinites. Don't you guys call yourselves Wisconsinites?
Yep,
all right.
Wisconsinites.
So,
or cheeseheads.
Right, there you go. So we're excited to be with you today, Farmer Derek, and we are excited to learn about you and your farm. So I will let you take it away.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Farmer Derek. Welcome to Orthridge Jerseys. We're very excited to have you here, and I'm looking forward to showing you around, showing you Dulce and Juniper, and then answering any questions you might have. So a little bit about the farm. My parents lived in Iowa until 1993. Me and my three sisters moved to Wisconsin and moved on to this farm. We milked about 40 to 50 cows and slowly grew. I graduated from high school in 2004, went to college in Utah, at Utah State University, and then returned to the family farm. In 2008, we expanded. We slowly grew from 60 to 120 cows. And then in 2008, we took a big plunge. We built a brand new barn and a brand new milking facility. And then we expanded the cows to we grew our herd to about 250 cows. So that's where we're at now. So we're milking about 250. Here you can see, this is the heifer barn. We built this in 2005. It holds about 80 to 90 heifers.
Okay.
In 4 different pens. We're gonna walk over and see the baby calves while I'm telling you or talking to you guys. We've had a very late spring this year. So there's a lot of things that haven't gotten done, like hauling manure. But we're making progress, and we're doing the best we can. So all of these calves here have been born after March 1st. So you can see these babies. These are the oldest ones, born in March, and we'll slowly walk down and make our way back. A few other things about our farm: we milk all jerseys. We do have a few crossbreds. We milk our cows twice a day. Some farms milk 3 times a day, and we milk 3 times a day for almost 10 years. But when the pandemic started, we were short of employees, and we started milking cows twice a day, just to give us some extra time and less hours milking cows.
Yeah.
So there's a couple younger ones over here.
Oh my gosh, they got littler and littler as we were going.
There they are. The youngest one was over here, 2276. She was born just yesterday morning. So,
look at her. So,
as you can see, her number is 2276. If you remember, Dulce's number is 2200, and Juniper's number is 2201. So we've had 75 calves since Dulce and Juniper were born. Because every heifer calf gets a number in the order that they're born.
Oh, that's very cool. And so do you use those tags then for identification, or what's the point of the numbers and the tags?
Yes, that is their identification. As they get older, sometimes we'll put their name tag in their other ear. We haven't been doing that as much as we used to, but that number is the same number they have when we register cattle, which when you're registering, it's just a special way of identifying pedigrees.
Mm-hmm.
And we also use those numbers when we were collecting milk samples once a month. Actually, my camera girl today, Shannon, is a full-time milk tester. She goes to farms all over Southwest Wisconsin and collects a sample of milk from every cow and checks the butter, fat, and protein, and sees checks to see how much milk every cow is giving. And so our ear tags that we have, those numbers stay with them the rest of the calves' lives.
Yeah.
And we use that number a lot because
to
take care of everything.
Yeah, it sounds like it's pretty important. And I'm pretty sure it's kind of like an ear piercing, right? Just a quick click, right, and that's it. So it's an easy way of keeping them in line that way, because there's a lot, and jerseys all look very alike. So
yes, they do.
That's the only way of keeping them straight. Now I can see behind you here, I think these might be our 2 girls we've been dying to see. So do we want to go ahead and see if we can get closer to them and maybe touch on each one and give us a little update on how they're doing?
Okay. Dulce is in the back there, and Juniper's here. They both have special pink ear tags, but the permanent marker is apparently rubbing off. They live here. I mentioned there's about 80 heifers in here. Once the grass gets a little taller and it's a little warmer, a lot of these will go out to pasture. There's about 20 heifers in each pen, and where I'm standing is kind of where they eat. We'll look at the food in a little bit. And then on the other side of the gates is the bedding. The guy our employee that does all the bedding, he's had the flu the last couple of days.
Oh no!
And when we're short one person, it makes everything harder on us. So they'll get fresh bedding later today, but they're
awesome.
Not as clean this morning. A couple things about like Dulce and Juniper. They're about 40 inches tall, a little over 3 feet, weigh about 400 pounds now, which is pretty crazy that they were only born 7 months ago, and they already weigh 400 pounds. I'm 36 years old, and I don't even weigh 200 yet.
Well, when are you gonna get to 400, Farmer Derek? Come on, catch up.
I hope I never do. I picked Dulce and Juniper to be in the Adopt a Calf program because their grandma and their great grandma were 2 of my favorite cows, Daisy and Jordan. So Dulce is a granddaughter of Daisy, and then Juniper is a great granddaughter of Jordan. Both Daisy and Jordan have passed away now, but we still have daughters and granddaughters out of both of them. So that's why I chose them to be in the program. Another thing that's special about both of them Some cows are born naturally without horns, which means they're or it's called being polled. You might be able to see a couple heifers in the pen back here that have horns, but Dulce and Juniper were both born without horns, so that's one thing that's special about them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's not something that, like you said, like every cow has, but it is a trait that I think you can breed for, and they can have just in their blood, just like, jerseys have brown hair versus maybe a grayer hair some of them have, or white spots. Like, I think Juniper is the one that has the white spot on her head, right?
Yep, Juniper has got a little white spot. Some jerseys will be almost solid white. They're almost a brown speckle instead of a white speckle, but
Right.
some jerseys can be almost solid black. And jerseys, no matter what, I shouldn't say all of them, but they will get darker with age.
Okay.
So we have some cows. When we looked at the babies, most of them were all solid brown, but some of them will turn almost a black color. That's just how their hair develops.
Right.
I'll tell you a little bit about the feed.
Yeah.
They got bottles for about 2 months, and then we started giving them what we call calf starter. It's a grain mix with some molasses on it. Molasses is kind of like sugar. It makes the feed a little sweeter. And then as they get older, they start getting new stuff. Well, this is what Dulce and Juniper are eating right now. And you can see all of the heifers, they lay in the back, and then there's kind of a free area, and this is where they eat. You can see Dulce is eating right now. And we mix this every day. It's a mixture of grain and vitamins and minerals. And then what we're using right now is it's called rye. It's a rye silage. So if you eat Gardettos, those really delicious black circles, those are made out of rye. And this is the ground up stalk of the rye plant. So, well, Juniper
That's
might
cool.
come over here and eat and check things out. The nice thing about these things, the heifers will stick their head through, and then it'll lock them in there for a minute in case I need to check one of them. If somebody's sick, I can give them medicine while they're locked up. It's very nice and convenient for us, and it's safe and easy for them to eat.
Right. Well, yeah, because they're 400 pounds right now. So trying to you can't just tell a cow, say, okay, sit still so I can give you medicine. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Exactly. It doesn't work for my kids either.
Oh my goodness. So their food looks like they're chowing down. It looks like they have a lot of food. Do you know how much they eat a day approximately?
I don't know I guess I could do the math. Every day we're giving them about 4,000 pounds, and if there's 80 heifers, it's hard to say, because like the ones down in here, like Dulce and Juniper's group, are smaller, and the ones at the far end, they're probably 800 or 900 pounds.
Right.
They're probably eating twice as much. So it's hard to say exactly what Dulce and Juniper are eating every day right now.
Right. Probably, I did quick math, and even divide is 50. So maybe they're
Okay.
half that, like 25.
Probably.
I'm not, somewhere around there, 25 pounds a day, maybe.
Probably
30
makes
pounds.
sense.
Yeah. That's a lot of food that they're eating. Do they also have water, or are they still eating grain, or just TMR? Or?
There's some grain mixed in, and then we do sprinkle grain on top every morning. So actually, like I don't know if you can see, there is some grain right here that was too far away for somebody to eat. So Dad or I will push up feed this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Shannon, can you show them the water? There's a concrete between each of the pens. There's concrete water. The heifers they share a water. I hope you can see that right now. There's a couple heifers drinking on the other side of the fence.
Mm-hmm. Juniper's gonna be friendly. Hi, girls. Oh my goodness. This is awesome. They look like they're really happy in their pen here. They're eating lots of food. They have fresh access to fresh water. And I know they'll normally be with their friends. We have them pulled out separately just for our chat today, but you can see all their friends intently watching around them, waiting to be let back out to their food. So we've had some really good questions coming in, Farmer Derek, if you're ready for a couple of questions here. So we've got one question. They were asking, what's the age of your oldest cow on your farm?
Ooh, the oldest cow right now, I'll have to think. We just got one of our oldest cows. Is actually, it would have been Juniper's great aunt. Her name was Janesville. She passed away last fall. She was 13.
Oh, wow.
I think our two oldest cows right now are actually Jordan's daughters. So they'd be also great aunts of Juniper. Their names are Jerissa and Jazz. So if you've noticed, when we have a cow like named Jordan, all of her daughters, granddaughters, great granddaughters will all have J names. And Daisy, all of her daughters and granddaughters and great granddaughters all start with D. So I think Jazz and Jerissa were born in 2010. So they would be turning 12 this year.
12. Wow. Oh my goodness. And I'm pretty sure that's pretty old for a cow, right? I mean, it might sound young to us, but I've heard that like 1 cow year is like equal to 10 human years approximately.
That's what I was going to say. The oldest cow we ever had was a cow named Ariel, named after, the Little Mermaid. She was 16 when she passed away. There was a lot of tears when we lost Ariel. So she was pretty special to us.
They're part of your family, and I get it. But while they are on your farm and living a healthy life, you make sure that they are given fresh food, fresh water, clean housing, and they clearly are really happy. So it's exciting to see them hanging out here and just munching down on their food. So thank you, Farmer Derek, for taking good care of them and for having such longevity in your cows. That's exciting.
Thank you.
Let's see some other good questions coming in. Oh, this is from Miss McGrath. She asked, "What's your favorite part about being a dairy farmer?"
I would say my favorite part about being a dairy farmer is the new life. Every spring, it's a little slow this year, but we're getting there. The new buds on the trees, the new grass growing. When we start planting our crops like corn and alfalfa and stuff, seeing the new life starting there. Every time a calf is born, it's something exciting. Yeah. So that's my favorite part.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool. We had and so there was a question that just asked, how long do cows usually live? So we talked about the oldest on your farm. What's the average though on your farm?
Yeah, I don't know what the average is on my farm. The national average age of a cow is 46 months. So it's about 4 years.
Okay.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but if the average, it's still 40 or 50 years in human lives, probably.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Very cool. All right. Oh, this is a good question. So you talked about how many cows you had on your farm. I think you said about 250 milking. Does that sound right? So how many cows total, including like heifers and calves and dry cows and things?
I think right now we have right around 400 or 420.
Wow.
We were a little short a couple years ago, but we've started to grow our numbers back up. So I think there's probably about 150 heifers and then probably 20 dry cows and then 250 that are milking. Right. When I talk about dry cows, that's when a cow gives milk for about a year, maybe a little less, 10 months to a year. And then we dry them off, which means we quit milking them for about 2 months. And then they basically go on vacation. They don't have to get milk. They just lay around and they eat. And so we have about 20 of those cows they're getting ready to have their next calf. So.
Very cool. So they get to focus all their energy and time on the baby and just relax. And then they have their baby. That baby goes in the hutch and process starts all over again. She rejoins the milking herd. That's pretty cool.
That's right.
Someone else also asked, how many gallons of milk does your farm produce each day? Do you have any idea how many? So maybe give pounds and we can help you do the calculation.
About 12,000 pounds. So I would say 1,500 gallons.
Yeah, that's pretty close. About 13.6 or 14. Yeah, 1,400. That's pretty darn close.
Okay,
Yeah.
So 1,400 gallons. Yeah. So Our cows make 1,400 gallons of milk. It'd be about 700 trips if you had one in each hand.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of milk. Now, where does your milk go? Do you know like a processor or where it normally goes to that maybe if someone is in the store that they're buying stuff, do you know what brand things might be?
It changes. We sell our milk to a co-op that it goes somewhere different every day. Sometimes it goes to Meister Cheese in Muscadet. Sometimes it goes to Schreiber. There was a while it went to Maple Leaf Creamery down by Monroe. Quite a bit of our milk goes to Emmy Roth, there was a Emmy Roth plant and cheese plant in Monroe, and I think our milk is going a lot to Platteville now. There's another Emmy Roth plant.
Yeah.
But I often don't know. When it goes to Schreiber, sometimes that's made into Dannon yogurt. So I think a lot of people have heard of Dannon yogurt. So every once in a while, if you get a cup of Dannon yogurt, there's a slight chance it came from Dulce and Juniper's aunts or something.
That's cool. Oh, very cool. Yeah, what a neat connection. That's really neat. Thank you for sharing that. That's good to know. Yeah, not every time, but it's possible that it could be there. That's cool. Let's see. Oh, good question. This is from one of Miss Samuelson's students. They were asking how many stomachs do they have?
Technically, a cow only has one stomach, but it has 4 compartments.
Right.
A cow is a ruminant, just like sheep and deer. Yeah, if you see a deer running around a field next to the highway, deer also have 4 compartment stomachs. There's the rumen, the reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. And each compartment of the stomach has a different job. The rumen is basically just a holding tank. Cows will come up to the bunk and they'll eat as much as they can, and then they'll go lay down. The heifers aren't really doing it today, but most of the time they eat and then they go down, and you'll see them chewing all day. They'll just chew, but they're pulling some of that food up from the rumen, and then they'll chew it, and then they'll send it back down. And after the stomach thinks it's been chewed enough, they'll pass it to the rumen or to the reticulum, the omasum, and then eventually it's chewed up into very tiny pieces by the time it gets to the abomasum, which is the closest thing to a stomach like humans. Cows eat a lot of long string stuff like the rye silage, and because they're ruminants, they can grow muscle, and they can build their body parts with the fiber that's in those long things, or grass. Like if we went out, we only have one stomach, and we went out and ate a bunch of grass, we'd just get a stomach ache.
Right.
We wouldn't be able to digest it fully, and it wouldn't help our bodies at all. But the ruminant, that's one of the things that's great about ruminants. They can take grass that we can't eat, and they can turn it into milk and meat.
That's cool. That is very cool. Very neat. So while we answer a couple last questions here, can our camera lady maybe focus on the calves? Farmer Derek, we'll give you a break from the camera, and we can maybe get closer on the calves here for a little bit for everybody. And see how they're doing. And of course, Dulce, you're going to back up on us. So while we'll check out these ladies while we answer a couple questions. So another one was, where do cows sleep at night, or what's their sleeping pattern like in general?
For these heifers right here, that on the other side of the gate behind Dulce and Juniper, where they're kind of running around right now. I don't know if you can see them or not back there running.
Yeah, a little bit.
But they'll snuggle in every night. They'll lay in, be happy. Cows sleep a lot like humans, a lot at night. Like when we get here early in the morning to milk, almost all of our cows will be laying down. And you won't, unless there's coyotes howling out in the woods. Most of the cows and heifers are just laying down and sleeping. Aww. And then you'll see them during the day taking naps. Most of their sleeping's at night. In our barn where the cows live, we have stalls. So it's a row of metal tubes, and the cows lay between the metal tubes in a pile of sand. So I haven't been to the beach in probably 7 years. I think I went to the beach in 2015, and my cows get to spend every day on the beach. So they're pretty spoiled.
I would say so. Every day. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty great life to be able to just hang out and be on the beach. And I'm sure in the summertime you probably have sprinklers or fans or things like that where they get to just live the life. Dulce is gonna put on a show for us here. Awesome. We had another good question. They were wondering how big will Juniper and Dulce be when they are full grown?
Okay, they'll weigh about 1,000 pounds, maybe a little more. So maybe 2.5 times as big as they are now. Jersey, if you've been around cows or if you haven't, Jerseys are one of the smallest dairy breeds, and they'll only get to that 1,000 or 1,200 pounds. A Holstein, on the other hand, the black and white cows you see roam in the countryside in some places, those cows will get to like 1,400 or 1,600 pounds. They're almost a whole feet, 1 foot taller than the Jerseys.
Wow.
And but I've been told that the surface area of a Jersey's foot is smaller. So if a Jersey steps on you, it's actually more pounds per square inch.
Oh, geez. So it would hurt a little bit more.
That's what I'm told.
That's a funny fact about Jerseys, and they're very personable cows. So
Yes,
they probably do it more often than most of the other breeds. Oh my goodness. Let's see. We have another question here. Oh, this is a funny one. Have the cows ever escaped their pen before?
Absolutely. Way more often than I'd like to admit. And sometimes it's human error. Right now Dulce and Juniper's gate is open, so Shannon and I need to remember to chain it before we finish. Oh, actually, so you can see Dulce is chewing on the gate right now, on the chain that keeps them locked in. And cows are very smart. You have to do special things so they don't chew the gate open, because they will open the gate if they can.
Right.
So sometimes in the middle of the night, the sheriff's department will call, "Do you have cows out? Because somebody just called and said there are some cows out on the road." Oh. We don't like to admit it, but it happens sometimes.
And that's probably just because they're curious animals. But I bet if you never went and got them, they probably would mosey their way back, because they know where their food is, they know where their home is, they know it's safe there. So
they're not running away; they're just looking for things. And you're absolutely right; they will always come right back.
Yep. They're just being nosy because, well, they're Jerseys and that's what they do. So. Oh my goodness, too cute. Oh, this is a good question. This one is asking, how many cows have you cared for in your career as a dairy farmer? Ooh, that's a tricky one though, Farmer Derek. Any idea?
I'm going to make it I'm going to cheat a little bit. We started testing milk in 2007. Yeah, I think it's 2007. So,
Okay.
I mentioned once a month, a guy named Mark comes to our farm and collects one sample from every cow. Mm-hmm. And so since 2007, we've had 2,276 heifer calves born.
Wow.
So that's I definitely had I was 21 in 2007, so it's much more than 2,276, but that's a good estimate in the last 15 years.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a lot of girls to take care of. But do you have a favorite out of any of them?
I'm not sure. It seems I've lost some of my favorites. Probably right now. That's a tough one. It might be Jerissa. It'd be Juniper's great aunt. So yeah. She's very pretty. And she'll be the first one to chew on you when you walk into the pen.
Well, that sounds like she's a good favorite. Oh my
exactly.
Goodness. Let's see. I'm gonna try and get one more question from the group here. I'm just trying to look through for ones that we haven't touched on. Oh, so this is a good one to touch on here, Farmer Derek. They were wondering, how do you know when they are healthy and happy? How do you know when they're sick and they need help? And what do you do to help them if they're not feeling well?
I would say that the easiest way to tell is when they don't eat. A healthy cow, a healthy calf, a healthy heifer always eats. You can see Dulce is kind of locked right now. I locked the headlock so that they would stay here, but I can let her out in a minute. But the easiest way, if a heifer is laying in the back or not coming up to eat, or if a baby calf isn't drinking her bottle, we know she's not healthy. And the first thing we do, I have a list of things that I check for. I'll check the temperature. I'll use a stethoscope and listen to their lungs to see if they have pneumonia. We look at their poop. Their poop is very important to see if they have diarrhea. That's something we need to look at. And one of the biggest one of the biggest sicknesses that baby calves can get is diarrhea, or what we call scours. And then it depends on what we think they need. If they're really sick, we'll use antibiotics. Just like if you're really sick, if you have an ear infection or a really bad cough that's just not going away, sometimes the doctor will prescribe you antibiotics. We work with our veterinarian, and he says, yes, this calf is really sick. I think you need to use antibiotics. And there's different kinds of antibiotics we can use. If they're only a little bit sick, we might give them electrolytes, or like sometimes when you're sick, you might have Pedialyte or Gatorade.
Right.
We have electrolytes that are just like those, and they actually taste similar too. They're very sweet to try to get the calves to boost their appetite. Yes, I've tried them. I've always said I won't give anything to my calves that I won't put in my own body. So
Right.
I've tried the electrolytes, but a lot of it's just kind of watching them and giving them extra care. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And that sounds like you're taking really good care of them, Farmer Derek. And we love that so much. And you know what? I said that was my last one, but I have one more, and this one's from Tammy, I think, or from Miss Black. They watched your farm tour video that we had shared with them from YouTube. And I guess in that video, you might have said you really like cheese curds. And they were just wondering if you liked breaded cheese curds or squeaky cheese curds better.
Squeaky cheese curds.
Squeaky cheese curds. All right.
And fun fact to add to that, I have a bag of cheese curds sitting in my truck waiting for me when we get done.
Clearly, it's your favorite then.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. Oh, Farmer Derek, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for letting us adopt these girls from you this year. I wanted to go ahead and just end with the last question. There's a lot of people just asking in general, why do you farm, or, what do you do? Why have you chosen this as your career? So I want to ask that to you. Why have you chosen to be a dairy farmer? What is your why to get up and do this every single day and produce the milk that you give us every day?
I would say that my biggest reason why is because I don't think everybody's willing to do it. It's a big chore. I mean, most people work 40 hours in a week, and I usually work 40 hours in 3 days.
Right.
And then I still have 4 more days of work to do. It's a very difficult job, but it's a very rewarding job. I get to see the new calves being born, and I get to see. Sometimes I think of myself as like a school principal. Each principal has a group of students that they teach and they work with for X number of years, and I feel like I have the same responsibility with all of my calves, which they're calves and then they turn into cows and eventually they pass away. But it's I have that connection with the animals. Sometimes weather's not glorious, but I love being outside. I think there's a German proverb that says, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothes. And I think that's true, because there's always a good reason to go outside.
Right.
I couldn't think of raising my kids anywhere else.
That's true. Yeah. And that ends up being a why for a lot of farmers, right? Having a really great place to raise your kids and learn hard work and dedication. And, we thank you for having the passion you do for the dairy industry, because I would certainly not do well without ice cream in my life or milk for my cereal. So I really appreciate you guys doing what you do, and just being really great farmers. And so thank you so much for doing that for us and providing a great product. And I thank you, just truly thank you. Your cows are clearly well taken care of. You're good stewards of the land, and it's been an honor getting to learn from you this year. So thank you so much. Is there anything that you'd like to share last minute here with us then before we tune off for the day?
I'd say if you have Instagram or if your parents have Instagram, follow Dulce and Juniper on Instagram. I haven't put a lot of pictures on there, but I put a few on there, and I hope to do that more after this.
Aww.
When you go to the store, if your parents are buying milk, always get the milk with the red top. Whole milk, in my opinion, is the best for you. If you argue with me, I'll bring up facts and figures, and so get your parents to buy the milk with the red top. So
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep. I would agree with you. I've grown up on whole milk my whole life. It's good for you. So awesome.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Farmer Derek. We've loved this
Thank you.
opportunity. There's been a lot of people saying thank you. I'm reading down the chat right now. So many people are saying thank you. We've enjoyed learning about you and your cows and Juniper. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day for us. Just lots of love and thanks for you, Farmer Derek. So this has been great. We can see they're very loved. We hope to see you all in the program next year. Remember, registration starts May 1st. That's this Sunday. And we would start the program then in October of 2022. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. And we hope to see you next year. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.